All right, let's dive into a really powerful idea from the book, Your Money or Your Life. Seriously, this is a philosophy that has completely flipped the script for so many people on how they think about their jobs, their money, and, most importantly, their time. So the book kicks off with this really provocative question, and it's one that kind of stops you in your tracks. It gets right to the heart of this feeling that maybe, just maybe, the thing we do all day to make a living is actually costing us our life. And hey, if that question hits home for you, you are far from alone. I mean, look at this. Almost half of all Americans are living paycheck to paycheck. This isn't just a vague feeling. It's the reality for millions of people who feel like they're just stuck on a hamster wheel. So how does this even happen? How do we get so trapped? Well, there's a name for it. It's called the hedonic treadmill. It's this crazy cycle where we work harder to earn more, only to spend that extra money on a lifestyle that forces us to, you guessed it, keep working harder. We're running faster and faster, but never actually getting anywhere. You know, we're all told that success looks like more, a bigger salary, a nicer car, more stuff. But the book asks a huge question. What if that constant chase for more is the trap itself? What if that's the very thing keeping us chained to a job we don't love, just to fund a life that isn't even making us happier? To get off that treadmill, you can't just run faster. You need a totally different way of thinking. And this, right here, is the single biggest mind-bending idea in the whole philosophy. It's about completely reframing what money actually is. The book introduces this concept called life energy. And this isn't some fluffy, abstract idea. It's your most real, most precious, and totally non-renewable resource. It's the literal hours and minutes you have to live on this planet. And here's where it all connects. Money isn't just paper or numbers on a screen. According to this philosophy, money is what you get when you trade away your life energy. You are literally selling the hours of your life for it. Okay, let's make this real. Let's say you make $30 an hour. On paper, that sounds pretty decent, right? But hold on. Is that what you're really making? First, you gotta factor in all the hidden costs. What about your commute? Say you spend 10 hours a week just getting to and from the job. That's 10 hours of your life you're giving to your job for free. And then there's the money you have to spend because you have the job. That $200 a month on special clothes, dry cleaning, uniforms, stuff you'd never buy otherwise. Oh, and this one's huge. What the authors call decompression spending. You know, those happy hours you need after a brutal week or the takeout you order because you're just too wiped out to cook. That's another cost directly tied to your work. So when you actually do the math, when you subtract all that extra time and all those extra expenses from your paycheck, that $30 an hour job, it suddenly looks a whole lot different. Your real hourly wage, the actual price someone is paying for an hour of your life energy, might be closer to $15. And this changes everything. Because now, when you're looking at that new $150 gadget, you don't just see the price tag. You see 10 hours of your life. 10 hours you'd have to stand at your job to get it. And the question becomes so much deeper. Is it worth it? Is it really worth that much of your life? This new way of thinking brings us to another amazing tool from the book, the fulfillment curve. Think of it like a map that shows the relationship between spending and actual happiness. It helps you find that magical sweet spot called enough. Okay, so at the very beginning of the curve, you've got survival. Food, water, shelter. Every single dollar you spend here gives you a huge return in well-being and fulfillment. This is the essential stuff. As you move up the curve, you get to comforts. Things that make life genuinely better and more pleasant, like a comfy mattress or some books you love. You're still getting a really good bang for your buck, happiness-wise. And then you reach luxuries. We're talking about a great vacation, a really special meal out, things that bring you true joy. But here's the key. This is the peak. This is the top of the mountain. This is enough. Because right after that peak, something weird happens. The curve starts to go down. This is the zone of overconsumption. It's the point where your stuff starts to create more stress than joy. Suddenly, you're not owning your things. Your things are owning you, draining your money, your time, and your life energy. See, finding that point of enough isn't about depriving yourself. The book describes it as a place of total freedom and security. It's this incredible feeling of knowing you have everything you truly need and want without being weighed down by all the junk you don't. So let's put it all side by side. Let's really look at how this radically different path stacks up against the way most of us are taught to think about money. I mean, just look at the difference here. On the one hand, you have spending driven by emotions and keeping up with the Joneses. Work is seen as a grind, and the goal is just more. But on the other side, you have choices driven by your actual values. Work is seen for what it is, a trait of your life energy, and the goal isn't more stuff, but enough, which is really about getting your time back. Because that's the whole point of this, right? This isn't about just pinching pennies forever. It's about buying back your freedom. The ultimate goal, the light at the end of the tunnel, is achieving financial independence. And this isn't some vague fantasy. There is a concrete, measurable finish line. It's called the crossover point. This is that beautiful moment when the money your investments make each month is more than what you spend. At that point, working for a paycheck becomes completely optional. You no longer have to trade your life energy for money if you don't want to. And that leaves us with the biggest, most important question of all. Once you've done it, once you've reclaimed your time and bought back your life, if you didn't have to work for money, how would you choose to spend your life energy?